Grow your business your way with up to 1.5 million rand in funding from Vodalend. Future Fit in association with Vodalend. So most of us used to play video games as kids. My favorite used to be Mario Brothers, but it's no longer just child's play. It's a multi-billion rand industry that's seen a huge growth around the world, especially due to COVID-19 lockdowns. According to New Zoo, South Africa has over 20 million gamers. So there's definitely a market, but how easy is it to get into the industry? And more importantly, how do you make money while having fun? Let's find out. Barry, thanks so much for speaking to us. Tell us how you got into gaming.
For me personally, it was when I was 12. The first Sega console had just come out, and the only way I could get it was by washing cars in our flat. So I think about 200 cars later, I was able to afford a second-hand one, and that's where it all started.
And do you consider gaming to be a full-time job now?
On a business level, yes, but if you wanted to get involved in gaming as a gamer, perhaps, not quite there just yet. We are starting to see a rise in gaming within the South African market, but it's not a place where you'd be able to pay rent and cover the bills just purely from gaming. But if you had to mix a few different types of aspects, like becoming an influencer, doing some content creation and gaming, most certainly. I know when I speak to a lot of people, they're like, okay, cool, for me to get into gaming, I need to develop a game. And it's not the case. You can go and study accounting and you can use that within the gaming industry.
So you definitely can make a living, but it's a bit of extra work right now.
There is. I mean, I think that's just generally the world as it is now, where people are starting to move more into multifaceted jobs where they're doing a bit of this in the morning and a bit of that in the evening. And that's the same applies for gaming as well. We don't have a professional circuit that gamers can go and win millions of dollars. They can win hundreds of thousands of rands, but that's split up over 5 people, 6 weeks worth of tournaments and competitions. And by the end of it, you maybe come out with maybe 20 or 30,000 rand. And that's a lot of money for some people. It's not something that's sustainable where there's those kinds of tournaments all the time.
Yeah. So let's talk about the competition scene a bit more, right? And how big it is and how much money is in it. I know you say that it's a split up between people, obviously.
Sure.
But there's still lots of money to be made here.
There is lots of money to be made. If you look at the gaming space as a whole, there is definitely millions of rands that is invested within prize pools over a single year, but those are in different games. So you'd actually have to be a professional at multiple different types of games to be able to kind of see the benefits of that or a large portion of those prize pools. But individually isolated, because gaming is a niche in itself, you've then got to go into a further niche and look at PUBG Mobile, for example, as a niche within that niche. So the competition space as a whole is quite healthy. There's definitely a lot of competitions and tournaments available. It's just whether your specific game has enough of those tournaments to actually make it feasible.
And there are different sectors in gaming, though, like Twitch, YouTube gaming, etc.
Sure, and that's where that content creation part comes into it, right? So you can play these games and then stream it onto Twitch, and you'll get your affiliation payouts every month. But I don't know anybody personally at the moment that is completely self-reliant just on those kinds of payouts from Twitch. You look at international numbers, some of those guys are earning hundreds of thousands of dollars a month just through streaming games only. But that's why I say it's in South Africa at the moment, you've got to find a combination of the two. So streaming live onto Twitch and then creating content potentially for YouTube and TikTok and other spaces.
So is it sustainable then?
At the moment, no. But that doesn't mean that I would say don't get into it. That doesn't mean that I'm saying don't look at it if it's a passion of yours or if it's something that you want to do. I worked a full-time job for almost 15 years while doing gaming after hours before I got to the point where I moved out of that full-time job and then started working into gaming. And I'm not saying that you're going to wait 15 years in order to get into that space. It's most certainly not the case.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Happy gaming.
Thank you.
Apply for up to 1.5 million rand in business funding from Vodalend today. Future Fit, helping you grow your business with Vodalend.